Jean-Luc Captain, engage, asks me if I ever played Drakon. That's an RPG for the Super NES. That was my opinion on it. I have played it, and I don't really like it. It's not terrible, like the worst thing I've ever played, but it's a kind of like you start with the four characters, and you just go around kind of wandering around. You have no idea where you're going or why, and then you meet some monsters, and usually the first monster you meet is going to kill at least one person in your party, and you don't really seem to have any control over anything, so I don't really like that game. Leseos asks me, if she sells seashells by the seashore, who is she? Shelly. And why is she selling seashells? I guess because nobody wanted that ass. She's got to make money somehow. Also, they asked me, what is my favorite Tolkien book? Okay, guys, it's Tolkien, not Tolkien. Tolkien. Please. It's amazing me that somebody who reads would make that mistake. Well, Lord of the Rings, I mean, the trilogy. My favorite in particular being the second one, Two Towers. Nene Forts, that's Julie's best friend, asks me two questions. One is, can I do Jules? But she doesn't specify which one. Is your new girlfriend named Julie also, or Jules? You can't do mine. Get your own. And the other is Catholic schoolgirl or Wiccan priestess. That's easy. Wiccan priestess any day. All right. I have a question from Julie here too, but I'm saving that for last. eCartman12, longtime subscriber, asks me, will I do PSP videos? No. Eric119966 asks me, when do I plan on ending the YouTube page? Hopefully not soon. Well, I'm not planning on ending it, so don't worry about it. Broken Steel Lord asks me what emulators I use, and where do you see the request list? You don't see the request list. And as for what emulators I use, check out the tutorial video I did recently where I show what emulators I use. And also there's a video called What Emulators I Use. I think it's called My Emulators. So there's two videos that I've done on that. Emilister, it's probably Emilister, has two questions. One is, do I like the Grand Theft Auto series? No. And two is, do I play racing games? Yeah, I don't like racing like Sims. Like, I'm not going to sit there and play Gran Turismo, but I like, like a Mario Kart style game. So, I do like racing games. I just like to have fun with them. I don't like to have to think of 4 million different things as I'm playing it. Sweetie Gamer, that's my friend Jess, she asks, am I against the cripples? I hate them so much. It's an inside joke. No, of course I'm not against the cripples. Cripples are awesome. Word to Joe. Gebby YCFN asks me two questions. One is, have I played the Metal Gear Solid games, and what's my opinion on them? You must be new! Hi! I hate the Metal Gear games. Overrated, boring, bad gameplay. I just don't even want to get into it. I can't stand the Metal Gear games. And two is, what are my expectations for Castlevania Lords of Shadow? I expect it to be awesome. Mr. Moses asks, do your farts generally stink a lot? Why do you want to know that? That's kind of creepy. It depends on what I've eaten. If I eat, like, a lot of broccoli or onions, then yes. Weird. DW1319 asks me, as a long-time subscriber, what are my top 5 classic rock bands? Now, I can give you my top 5 bands, but top 5 classic rock bands, I mean, well, it's kind of difficult, like, what is and what isn't classic rock. I mean, like, Rush is one of my favorites. They're definitely classic rock. Like the Who. I love the Who. The Beatles, of course. They're classic rock. Led Zeppelin. I mean, that's more into the realms of heavy metal. So is Rush, but they do get played on, And is Metallica considered classic rock? I mean, if anybody's wondering, like, what my top favorite bands of all time is, it's probably, like, Dream Theater, Genesis, Ayreon, Opeth, and Metallica. But... so I hope that was what you were looking for. And also, what's my least favorite video game series? That's kind of difficult because there are a lot of series that I just don't give a shit about, like Tomb Raider or whatever. And then there are ones that, like Metal Gear, where it's just like, obviously it's not the worst series ever, but I just can't stand it for so many different reasons. So I'll probably say Metal Gear. Just to get some fucked up comments. Why not, right? A similar question, Menace391 asks me, is there a game that I hate with a passion? And this is also going to lead to a lot of fucking assy comments. Yeah, Xenogears on the PlayStation. Fuck that game. Maybe one day I'll go and like do a rant about it and like I'll like tell you why I hate it so much. I've mentioned it before. I love this person's username, balls to the fucking limit. They have two questions. One is, what is the lowest amount of money I would accept to give up gaming for life? I don't know. What are you offering? And why would anybody care? Like, I want you to give up games. I'm going to give you $10 billion. Why would anybody want that? I don't understand that. I'm not good with rhetorical questions, as you can tell. And the other question is there anything more... Is there anything more satisfying than pulling out a huge chunk of earwax? Yeah, it's called sex. You might want to look into that. Syed Khan, he's been a subscriber for a while. He asks me for my PC specs. Actually talked about this in another video, but it's nothing special. I made this computer. I built it 2 years ago with Dell, so it was really good then. Now it's kind of just, It's a Dell Dimension E521. It's got a dual-core Athlon AMD processor running at 2.1 gigahertz. I've got 2 gigs of RAM. I got something like 160 or... Well, with all the drives together, external, I have 200 gigs of space, I think. So, I mean, you know, it's nothing amazing, but it gets the job done. And Mr. MMO97 asks me, what is my favorite game-related thing that is not a system or a game? Well, what would it be? Like a controller or a memory card? I find that hard to answer. My computer? The emulators that I use? And finally, Julie's question, Miss JC124 asks me a question that I found impossible to really answer. What is the one thing that I've wanted to tell her since forever but haven't had the nerve to? I'm secretly a black guy. I'm the dude playing the dude who's really the other dude. Which dude are you? I don't fucking know. No, I think there were a couple of things, Julie, babe, if you're listening, that were along those lines, but we're past that, and I've told you things. I mean, it's kind of hard to think of anything that I've wanted to tell you and haven't, because the kind of relationship that we have, I feel that if I want to tell you something, I generally don't wait around, you know. I just tell you because I know how you are, and I know that I can tell you anything. So, unfortunately, I can't really give you like a real answer. So if you were looking for something like that I was hiding or keeping under wraps because I didn't have the nerve to tell you, I'm sorry to disappoint, or maybe it's not a disappointment, but yeah, sorry. Like, I'm secretly a black guy. No, yeah, right? Can't you tell? That's how I can dance. No, I'm joking. All right, guys. So, hope you enjoyed it. That's my Q&A. Wonderful, 2,000 subscribers is awesome. Hopefully, 3,000 will not take too long, and I'll do another Q&A then. And if it starts speeding up too much, I'd have to wait till 5,000. So, see you guys. NecroVMX.